Hey y'all, we're live on the Business Mind Show. I'm your host, Christopher Shaw. How you guys doing tonight? Um, our host tonight, our guest tonight, sorry, I'm the host. Our guest tonight is the founder of D&B Consulting, Bobo. He's running a little late, but that's okay. We're going to keep going, going to keep pushing. And what we're going to be talking about tonight is just discussing entrepreneurial mindset. Do you have an entrepreneurial mindset? Do you have what it takes to have an entrepreneurial mindset? And like we discuss on this show, every week we usually have a special guest who is an entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur, or maybe someone who's a retired now who used to be an entrepreneur back in the day. And so we focus on nothing but entrepreneurship, but not just stuff like successes and, things they did right. I want to know the things that got them to the place, to where they are, or to whatever entrepreneurship level they are at, because there are different levels to this, regardless of what people think. So that's what we explore on this show. Entrepreneur as a whole, we want to know your ups and downs. We want to know my guest, everything about them and what makes them an entrepreneur. Why are you worthy to be on my show? So and to tell you a little bit about what we actually do, the whole studio thing. We're actually recorded on live. Then we record this and replay it later on the Equalizer Network, and then we're also recording a podcast. So we're knocking out everything as we're going along. And I also want to say big ups our newest show, Head of Household. Oh my gosh, it aired on Saturdays. It airs on Saturdays from 10 to 7 with host Adrian Ford. He's the CEO of Head of Household Consulting. I mean, he knocked it out. I mean, this man, him and his wife, his team, they're on a mission to help improve fatherhood. Bring men to the head of household. 1 second, that's Bobo right now, and I will go get him. Because I'm already live, yeah. Just if you want to take some time, you can do it. Come on. Hey y'all, I'm back. I had to open the door for Mr. Bobo.
Around late thanks to Dallas traffic.
Oh, you good? You good? He's here. Yeah, you can. Yeah, take some time. This is a casual show, but we do take stuff seriously. Now we're all about entrepreneurs. I want to thank the viewers that we have on here already. So yes, we're all about entrepreneurship on this show. And I was talking about Adrian Ford's show. Oh my gosh, he's the newest show. Like I said, he's head of household. His company is head of household, and they're on a mission to improve the lives of young men, to show them how to be the head of their household. And he had a phenomenal show, talking about great subjects. A lot of people chimed in on Saturdays. I mean, these are the type of shows that we like to promote here on Equalizer Network. Shows all about edifying and helping people in different areas of life. And we couldn't have a better show than his to be added onto our lineup. So I was really proud of that show. I was really watching it. So I really love it. So like tonight's subject is, we'll get right into it. It's, do you have an entrepreneur mindset? What is an entrepreneur mindset? I've actually been doing entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur for going on 6 years, and I've accumulated some common denominators that tie entrepreneurship together. Some things that I've seen that are consistent among successful entrepreneurs, and then people that aren't to the level of success that the world would deem as successful, but with entrepreneurship, it's really you define your own level of success. And a lot of people don't understand a lot of things dealing with success because they're not in that fight with you. You know what I mean? They're not in that fight with you, so they couldn't understand. Here, our guest is actually here. Come on in, Donnell.
Come on in. Thank you, buddy. I'm hearing you. That sounded real good.
Oh, you good,
sounded
man.
real awesome. Thank you for
yeah, man. How you doing?
Apologize about the tardiness.
Oh, you good. You good. You're an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, and that's the good thing about
yeah,
it.
you're an entrepreneur, man, and that's what it's all about, man.
Right.
This young man right here, I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of weeks ago, man, and he just blew me away with not only his knowledge of his industry, but his knowledge as an entrepreneur and as a whole. He's been doing it maybe like 16 years times me, you know. So I mean, he may look a little younger than me, but he got me, but not in the. But I mean, he was phenomenal when I first met him, and I appreciate the knowledge that an entrepreneur like you would spread. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do what you do. So that's my introduction to you, Donnell.
Thank you. I'm trying to figure out live here. I don't know.
Oh,
that's why I got him. You know, he know exactly what he's doing in his field. This guy's awesome. Thank you for allowing me, man, and thank you for, you know, that introduction. And sorry about the tardiness again. It's just Dallas. It's man, the traffic. Yeah, I had to get used to the traffic. I'm like, holy crap. And I started finding shortcuts, and then my navigation tell you what it wanted to tell you. I think it tell you where it wants you to go. I'm like, I wasn't trying to go this way. I think this is a shortcut. You know, I don't think this is the same. So that's my experience. But yeah, so we're here to talk about a few things. Like Mr. Chris said, yeah, I have been an entrepreneur for quite some time. It's been a while. Shoot, I think I started my journey in 96, maybe 95.
Hey, 96.
Yeah, dude, I'm like 40 something. Stop counting. 41, maybe 42. Stop counting out the 30, 35. You know?
Like most of us do. I need to stop counting then.
Yeah.
It's time for me to stop counting.
I think age don't even matter. It's the health,
Yeah.
man. You just got to stay in shape. It's healthy in the mind, healthy in the body. Now I post a quote that say, without health, you can't really enjoy wealth. So you just gotta. That's one thing that's real beneficial. You know, you gotta be in shape. Gotta have good health.
Oh man.
Because sometimes wealth take a little bit of time. You know, people don't tend to get there till they older. You know, you get a little older, 40, 50, 60. Look at some of the great men. Even some of the presidents or business entrepreneurs, you do the research, a lot of them became successful after they hit that age, 40, 50, and 60. Even some of your actors and movie stars.
And it's funny, too, about the actors and movie stars. Well, people as general, it's hard to tell age sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think it may be perception. We perceive that we look at them, we don't understand their age because we're not looking at them from an age standpoint.
Right.
You know. So, and you're very right on that. I think the average age of a startup is 44.
Right.
And people don't even
look at the YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Get us both in here. So y'all can see your too, but go ahead.
Yeah, but the average age of a startup owner is actually 44. So that's very interesting that you're talking about how important it is to stay healthy and don't worry about your age when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, that ain't a big deal. You start thinking about it, you start feeling it. Oh, I'm 50. You know, what is 50? You know, what is that? Right. 50 over here is fast, 50 over here is slow. You know, it don't matter.
You're right, man. And, man, you're right on point, man. So tonight's topic is, do you have an entrepreneurial spirit, a mindset for entrepreneurship? A lot of people start entrepreneurship and getting into it, and they don't realize what the type of toll it's going to take on you overall, correct?
That's correct.
And so,
right.
Over my years, I've compiled a list of maybe like 5 things that I've seen that entrepreneurs have in common. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, because you are a pioneer, and then we'll get into who you are and ask you some questions as well.
Okay.
But one of the first things, and you tell me too with this list, you tell me if you agree with them, if you want to add some things to
Right.
them. So I just wanted somebody who also was in the game with me to kind of sit here. So the first one is face challenges.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs see fear as a challenge. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, fear is huge. I mean, that's one of the mental blocks, for a lot of people. Some people fear poverty.
Yes.
Say they don't want. Some people fear the loss of love. Old age. Speaking of age, people fear old age. Like,
fear.
I don't. Why? Again, it's part of maturing.
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, for the most part, for most people, the older you get, the wiser. You start doing things like, I used to do that 10 years ago. Like, what?
I know.
I ain't doing that no more. So fear is huge. But how do you face fear? That was the other question to the question.
It was going off into entrepreneurs. We look at fear as a challenge more as it's something we need to overcome because like Puffy said, not to quote Puff Daddy too much, but he is a good businessman.
Mm-hmm.
More money comes more problems.
True.
Well, if you're not fighting to get to another level, that doesn't really make sense. Oh, you got money, you don't have no problems. You understand? But when you get to
true.
what I'm saying? So we actually see that, okay, when I get here, what new debt am I going to take on, or what new project am I going to take on to keep moving forward? So entrepreneurs see as fear and face challenges as something positive, not something negative. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
And it should be. And it should be positive. Some of the fears that, and it's mentioned in other people and other quotes, I done read several books, and a lot of them say some people are fear of being successful.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, fear of money, having money is not easy.
Yeah.
Think about it. The people that have money, right, they have what? Employees. So they got to do. You got to be a people person. You got more tax liability.
Yeah,
so you got a lot more to do. So if you can't handle 2 employees, filing taxes for the first year on your personal taxes, I don't think you're ready for one. So that you already, so you got a challenge. Is kind of understanding who are you. Who are you? Am I a person of people, or I'm a person of self? Do I want to just be to myself? And maybe there's a business for people that's to their self.
My gosh, that's so true. There's a book called Rework, and it's kind of talking about the new age of entrepreneurship, to where you don't have to have, and it's talking to kind of like introverts. It's talking to somebody who doesn't want to deal with a lot of people,
right?
But they still want to have some type of business.
Right.
So they were talking about the owners of the book kind of had it to where their team was kind of spread out.
Right.
It was like a new age of doing business, and it kind of hit on the point what you're talking about,
Right.
From that standpoint.
Right. And then me and my programmer just actually he's another business partner of mine. He's actually part of TCU Software, which is a credit university. And he told me, he like, man, I love the business. I love one thing that he learned, because we have challenges in business. You got to face those challenges and figure out what to do. Like, just because there's a challenge don't mean you stop. Like, I don't stop at nothing. Oh, damn, I can't do that. How do you do it? Some people think I'm crazy for that. Like, nah, there's a way to do it. It has to be.
Oh,
come on now, like, yeah, you got it. So, and my buddy was like, his biggest problem was dealing with people. Yeah, he like programming. He get to dealing with people. He get everybody don't understand him.
Yeah,
and he sit there and one of the top 10 probably in the world, if you ask me. I don't know. Like,
no. He's pretty good. I see this,
right. And but that's all he want to do is program, and that makes him happy. And I'm like, I want to program too, but then I'm like, I like dealing with people. I like talking, man. I mean, so everybody, again, it's back to who you are. So once you figure out and identify who you are, then you can say, okay, this is how I'm going to go about things.
I love it. Yeah. That actually goes into you segment into our next topic. It's learn from everything. Entrepreneurs, we try to learn from everything. Like you said, you see something, you see type of problem, and you're like, I can do that. Now, in your mind, you're technically saying, I can learn to do that. Right. You see, a lot of people who are entrepreneurs or don't have that mindset yet see that as something they could never do. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like a block. Like, this person had this going from this person had going this. For entrepreneurs, we see it as, hey, if that person can do it, we can do it.
Absolutely.
So entrepreneurs, we learn from everything, man. Everything's a learning success.
Yeah, and we learn from each other too. You know, a lot of people say, you know, like I started credit repair. Part of my reason for doing credit repair back in the 90s was to really sell my property. I didn't really care about credit repair. I was just trying to sell property. Like, I'm gonna fix them up, sell them, and give me someone with good credit. But then I started liking the business. I started seeing it, and it started helping people. So I developed a passion and a love, because again, there you go, helping people. And I noticed other people were learning, copying. Hey man, I want to get started with your program. Send me some information. Take their information, take your name, I'll put theirs on. Hey, I'm in the credit repair business, y'all. Give me a call. Like, wow. Like, you know, you just took that idea, right? Yeah. But I ain't mad.
No.
Because that's part of learning. We learn it from each other. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking, and we developed I had the software in mind back then, because I knew that was going to come. I'm like, people going to want to learn, people going to want to copy, which is fine, but let me continue to offer them something. Y'all can copy this software, but whatever, but still you're learning.
Yeah.
You know, and as a business entrepreneur, you got to stay competitive. So that was one of my competitors. Like, I'm finna keep moving. While y'all thinking down here, I'm thinking up here.
And wow, you're really good at this, because the next thing we're going to talk about.
Man, you funny. People probably think we like this is not right, because you keep saying it. I keep
exactly. The next thing we're going to talk about is focus on problem solving. So you saw a problem. That's crazy. But like I said, these are compiled from my years of entrepreneurship and what a lot of them had in common.
Okay.
So focus on problem solving. You saw a problem now.
Right.
You saw a need.
Absolutely.
And you said, hey, I can fill this need. So entrepreneurs, we focus on problem solving. Man,
and on solving the problem, I like to solve a problem by fixing one's credit. It ain't that it's the easiest task. People think that it's so easy. Like, for they think, and a lot of people want you to babysit. They want you to hold their hands and stuff like that, which is fine. I mean, that's what the credit repair fee is, a babysitting fee. You know, babysit is fine. You know, but part of solving the problem is solving their problem.
Yes.
And everybody can't do that, because everybody in the people person. Sometimes people get agitated, attitude. Hey, what's going on? What do you mean what's going on? Did you just get our email? Like, you gotta be able to talk to people, man. You gotta be able to deal with people, and you gotta be passionate about it. So again, that's part of solving problems. And this is a huge problem, because everybody that comes into our program that I deal with personally have a different attitude. Every person, they have what they're trying to do, their plans, their goals, their vision, and I listen to it though. I actually like that, because now I'm pulling in everybody. Like, when you read a book, you're reading somebody else's mind, right?
Yeah.
That's how you're doing. But
that's a good input.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
so
that.
So now all these people, I'm just hearing their minds, and I'm listening to some of their ideas. Like, I'm gonna do that. I'm an entrepreneur,
and you're finding a better way to solve the problem. Half of it is listening, because most of the time the client will tell you exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
They tell you exactly what's wrong. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to solve that. Because I want to be the one that, number one, figure it out, make it happen, and make you happy.
And then you get paid. It's funny. I put in here, too, in the article, a customer facing a problem will happily pay for a product or service that'll solve it. It can almost be boiled down to just this point that we're hitting.
Exactly.
Entrepreneur, focus on solving a problem, and you're an entrepreneur, you're in business now. People are paying you for that. Man, this guy's good.
Man,
that's funny.
And we none of this was hers. I came and we made it happen. But this guy's good. Me, mine. Exactly.
All right, the next point, man, is entrepreneurs network all the time and everywhere. One of my goals this year, and I actually got called out for it, but I like to be real. One of my goals this year, because I wasn't that type of people person in the beginning. I was focused on quality, and that's about it. I just wanted to have the best quality everything, right? But my customer service was lacking, right? And the networking part was lacking. So I've learned this one, actually network all the time with everyone. And so one of my personal goals this year was, if I'm sitting somewhere longer than 8 minutes, I'm gonna introduce myself to at least 2 people, right?
Oh, nice.
And then another thing, if I catch eye with you, I'm gonna introduce myself to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And actually, my brother's friend called me. I said, "Hey, Chris, you know why do you have to wait 8 minutes?" Because he's an entrepreneur, and he's like, "Just do it right away." And see, that came easy to him to think like that. But I was thinking like, hey, I need to wing my way into this. But now I'm learning to network all the time and everywhere. And that was some little rules that I actually put into myself to actually be able to network all the time and everywhere. So yeah, entrepreneurs, that's one of the things to be a successful entrepreneur. I think that is crucial to be an ultimate networker, especially a small business.
Oh, exactly. Totally. I agree. And I kind of like what you said, too, when you mentioned that you was focusing on making everything right first. Like, that's how I am, too.
Yeah, the quality.
Like, the technology, the quality, then the customer service. Because you're going to slack. You can't be... No, I take that back. You can.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but you can try to be. You know, try to be your best. You can. So you can, but you still lose that time towards whatever it is you putting that energy in. So you can't, in a sense, but I don't want to say, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
But that's true. So when you kind of move from one aspect to another, those are the things that transpire. And that was my biggest thing, too. I was big on having it perfect. Like, I need this system to be... You know, but it's always growing, so it ain't a big deal. And the other concept that you mentioned as far as dealing with people, you got to be a people person. You got to deal with people. And the networking, getting out there and networking. I want to touch on that. This came across my mind. I'm like, always be communicating. You know, the old ABC, always be closing. That just came to my mind when you said, always be communicating. And that's true. I'm huge when it comes to networking. That was one of my problems before. Well, I don't know. I have other problems that I saw, but networking wasn't one. I like talking to people. Yeah, you're right. Someone, you ain't even got to make eye contact. You can look at me and like, man, why you frowned up? I need to get that skill. Challenging myself to do things as well. It ain't always about. We got to be understanding us. So I pull up, man, what's wrong? Yeah, all right. Is your credit good? Is that what's giving you a problem? Is that why you mad with your big?
Most of the time it is,
Exactly. So then, boom, you know, network. Without a network, you don't have a net worth. You need people. We need people. That's it.
I agree. And like I said, that was one of the things that was lacking. But now, I mean, even with you, came through another colleague that I went to a networking event, and now it's like just like a river, just branching off different ways, and it's providing water to a lot of different people. I mean, it's pretty good. Okay, so the next point we got is, as entrepreneurs, we have to think beyond the weekly paycheck. You gotta, if you're expecting to jump into entrepreneurship and just instantly get a weekly paycheck and get right back to where you started from when you didn't have that, when you quit your job, oh man, you're in for a rude awakening. You got to think beyond that weekly paycheck when you're going into entrepreneurship. Would you say that from an entrepreneur standpoint, that what was one of your biggest fears as far as dealing with think beyond the weekly paycheck, or were you always just that guy just hustling and trying to make it work?
Yeah, so I don't even remember not having. I started off pumping gas at 13.
Oh, see.
I was going to gas. Excuse me, can I pump your gas? They're like, no, you can sit in the car. All the stuff that they coming out with now, the boom box, the system, the rims, the TV, the everything. Now it's like they patent. What I wasn't thinking about was why I didn't patent that idea to put TVs in your car and big rims, and now the dealerships are doing it. Why we didn't patent though? That's what I think about now. But right,
that's interesting.
Right. So I'm the one pumping gas. I was always like, okay, but I do understand it though, because again, I listen. I listen to people, and the biggest problem is you going to anything worrying about what? Money.
Yes.
No, you already in it wrong. You quit because of money. Now you starting a business because of money. No, that's not the way to go.
Yes.
Why you starting this business? Cause I started because I ain't want to go to work. I do not want to work for all that time. I'm looking at other people like they retired at 40. Okay, look at that. 40 years, I'll take that back. Not at 40. They retired at 40. Been on job 40 years. I seen grandparents and other people and family. I seen different people. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. They had a good job. I don't want to do that. That's cool. I like that. That's better. You know, so I was already looking at things. So understanding that once you concerned about money, going in something concerned about money, you already creating a problem for yourself. and for others, because people gonna read that.
Yeah.
All you want to do, you want to make money. You ain't really trying to help.
Help me.
Like
Yeah.
this, we not here saying, okay, let's pay. We just here chilling. It's about the conversation, giving people information about what they can do. That's what it's about, and from there, things manifest. Yeah, things grow. Like, you don't plant the seeds.
Yeah.
Let them and water them. We ain't worried
If it's
about
meant
no.
to be, it'll be.
Man, money wasn't here before us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we was here before money. Nature was
that's
here.
a great-
Money
that's a
came.
great analogy.
Yeah, so why we worrying about stuff that came after you?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't concerned about who you are. You worried about this money. You just running chasing money. You gonna keep chasing it.
You're gonna keep chasing.
No matter how much money you get.
You're gonna always want more.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's wrong.
You have to have your own level of success when you're dealing with entrepreneurs. And I always talk the analogy of LeBron James. Everybody can relate to LeBron James. Just think about LeBron James didn't start playing basketball to get a Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
He focused on being the best basketball player, and then the Mercedes and
And
all this stuff
came.
came. It
Right.
comes under it. You have to have a bigger purpose. And in digital branding and marketing and as a whole, what we always try to tell people is, what's your why? What is your why for starting a business? What is your why for doing whatever you do? And when times get hard and when that money's not coming in, your why is going to sustain you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why am I doing this again? Why am I putting myself through all this again? We said no phones like phones.
That's another right. That's another lie. Just, I mean, I thought about it. I'm like, well, you can go live on Instagram, right? It's so much technology, right? So we here.
But yeah, so
there.
so you have to have bigger than just your weekly paycheck. You cannot come into it thinking about that. And like I said, over my years, I've noticed everybody I've talked to, most of them, my clients have been making a lot of money, and none of them were really stressed on this, and that's why they started. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They all had a bigger purpose of why for starting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just some wisdom that I took away from them. Like, okay, cool. I want to make a lot of money. I want a Ferrari. I want, I do want all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I want my Smookas to have her G-Wag.
Mm-hmm.
She likes it.
Right.
But
I like that. A lot of people like them G-Wag.
I know. I don't like them. They're like a box, but I can understand.
Expensive box.
A very expensive box. And I saw one on the side of the road the other day. I never thought I was going to saw one on the side of the road. I think
Wow.
that's crazy. Those expensive cars don't like to see their cars on the side of the road. But anyway,
I'm surprised they ain't come get it.
Come get it or something.
Get that off the road right now.
But no, like I said, we want money as well, but we also have to realize, why are we really doing this? It has to be bigger than money. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the things that is from entrepreneurs, man, we think beyond the weekly paycheck. Mm-hmm. And you certainly shouldn't start from that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Start from that point. Now, you get a couple years in and you're not making no money, and then you need to worry about it a little bit. But even then, that means something you need to tweak as far as your system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because anything can be sold, and as you have a passion for it, that'll come through. And then people are willing to pay for that. So
right, you gotta develop that energy. That's that okay, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to help. And some people just want to change the way we live. I mean, think about it. We're
true.
Constantly evolving. It ain't about money. It's like, okay, before we didn't have a car, we was riding horses and stuff. Now we got a car. We can get somewhere in no time. There's technology. Somebody thinking there. We need to keep thinking. We need to continue to be innovators. Like, that's who we are as a people, and then everything else will come.
Yeah.
Like, that stuff, people coming to buy ideas, people buying your franchise, people buying patents. Like, it's so much that we overlook because you worried about money that you don't really figure out or develop who you are. Like, we all are somebody that have significant points and meanings here. Mm-hmm. And that's it. So we need to leave that legacy. We need to leave that name behind. You need to leave that. He invented this. He invented them. You did that. We steady evolving.
Yeah, that's true, man. I started with Think Beyond a Weekly Paycheck, and Bobo went to changing our hearts and minds. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I love the platform that I've been blessed with. this is really digging in deep, and this is what the show is all about. Just really giving out some knowledge from real world entrepreneurs. We're both real world entrepreneurs. So I really appreciate that, man. You getting passionate about that, and that's so true. Our last point is entrepreneurs. I love this one. Actions, not words. Finally, entrepreneurs, we take action. Of course, we have a plan, and we plan very well, but when it's time to act, we act decisively. We act quick. I remember when the ideal came for me for this station, this studio. I was on a client's and a partner's podcast, right? And we were I think we were at a park or her apartment building, and I was just looking around, and we're having a great conversation on the podcast, and I was thinking, man, I can build a station, and I can be doing it. And then I swear, not even like a week later, I went ahead and leased a bigger office, went and bought all the equipment, and then I showed the young lady that I was on her podcast, and she was like, "Whoa, Chris, how did you think of it?" I was like, "Actually, I got the idea from you, but I knew that I had the ability to make it happen and bring it to life." And that's one of the things that we do as entrepreneurs. But then again, you also have to think about what I went and built. It wasn't just something that went away from what I was already doing. This actually goes with branding. So that goes in the planning stage. I wasn't just thinking about doing something totally against from my core business. This actually complements my core business. So you see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
So even though we're acting fast, we act in a decisive way that's going in the same direction.
Focus.
Now, yes, there you go, focus.
Yeah.
So so we're all about action and not too many words. I really don't talk too much. You can't really tell from this show, but when I get in good company. But
you keep it going.
We're all about action, not words. And I understand a lot of people, you can understand that, but until you're like in the entrepreneur fight, it's really hard to really, really understand that. You know what I mean? But so.
Right, and that's so true. Like, actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
People that's the most successful are the most focused. So you gotta put forth action. Yeah, you got to. Persistent.
You gotta stay with it no matter what. You can actually combine a lot of the things that we said, and they'll give you those little tidbits to keep that action going no matter what.
Right.
And you know what? That's funny. You keep talking about focus. I read an article where Bill Gates' dad had asked him and what's the second richest man in the world? He used to be. Now he's the third. The older guy. Man.
I know. I don't even know. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking. I'm like.
Oh my gosh! I forgot what his name was.
Anybody know out there? Look, what's the
old guy? Remember, it was Bill Gates. What's the second? I forgot his name. But anyway,
okay.
Bill Gates' dad asked him and Bill Gates to write down, without telling each other, what was the main thing that they did to get to the point that they're at, and they both wrote down focus.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, no, and that was
real.
That's pretty crazy. And to think of most of the clients that I see that start off good. Warren Buffett, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Here, we got one right here.
We got Paul Allen, Warren Buffett. Okay, yeah, Lamont, my buddy, how you doing?
Yeah, Warren Buffett.
Yeah, okay.
Him and Warren Buffett, man.
We got a lot going on in our mind. Just keep moving. You forget some things that be right on the tip of your tongue.
Thank you, Smokers.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. Live over there, and my Smokers over here. Smokers is my wife, by the way.
I already know. I like that.
She's co-owner of all this, so I gotta give it. I gotta say something. But
need a strong woman behind you.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a whole nother topic.
Man, whole nother topic.
We'll get into.
Yeah, and we can talk about it. It's more than just credit over here.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
You're right. It's a lot of knowledge. But so he asked them those two to write down, and both of them came up with focus. Oh my gosh, that was pretty cool to think of that, because most of the clients the trouble clients that I've ever had, they had lack of focus. And I, in the beginning, had lack of focus.
It's easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
All right, now it's so much distraction, man. I be challenging focusing every single day. No, because you got to stay on it. You can't just say, I'm focused. Now you're going to be focused. No, you got to continuously stay
on it.
Focused. Yeah, you got to stay on it. I'm always on it. That's why we live right now. This is part of being focused, giving people some good information.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
This is the prime example.
And this is also the prime example of using the technology that we have. I mean, like we got live on Facebook right here. We got live Facebook
personal
again,
phone, Instagram live.
Just making sure we're getting our voice heard. Many people that'll listen, man.
Right.
And
we gonna bring you good stuff. This is an awesome show. I ain't kidding. Like, I'm very ecstatic and happy to have bumped into this gentleman here just off of networking, and we're starting. This is the result of us. Everything that we're talking about. This is networking. How I met. This is the result of us moving fast. How now we done reacted, and here we are doing this now. I started a podcast at home. I had the same. I mean, I jumped on board with someone, right? I'm like, man, I want to do this. It's a lot of things I want to do. But what you do, you get with the right person. I want to be involved. I want to do this. I want a podcast. I want to talk to people. And so here we are. Long as you stay persistent.
And this man, I mean, I've probably known him maybe 2 months, if that, man. But the first night we just clicked, man. I mean, just on so many different levels, and
appreciate that.
It is crazy how he's talking about we're just moving, and he's from St. Louis.
That's where STL. Yeah, I'm down here in Dallas. I come down here to make things. You got to move around. Don't be afraid to bounce like round ball. Bink, 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 all over the place.
He's exactly right. All right, man. So, that's entrepreneur mindset. Those are some of the things. Just to recap, I'll go and recap them. For those that don't remember, the first one, entrepreneurs face challenges, man. We're always seeing fear as a challenge. That's it. It's nothing more. Yes. Second, we learn from everything. We try to learn from everything, whether it's a good situation, bad situation.
Yeah.
Bad situation, you learn what not to do.
Yes.
Right?
Always be learning.
Always be learning. And then the third one will be focus on problem solving. Somebody has and let me add on that, one of the ways that you can, it keeps going. One of the ways that you can focus on that problem solving is listening. You got to be able to listen. So people that try to sell and don't listen, it's not very. You can be a good salesman, but not very good at entrepreneurship because it takes more.
Exactly.
The fourth one is network all the time and everywhere. That's what brought us together. Fifth one is think beyond the weekly paycheck. And then the sixth one, the last one is action, not words. We believe we're all about action and not words. So that's kind of what we were talking about today. Now we get in the section to where it's all about Mr. Bobo.
Oh,
I got a couple of questions.
You got to even question me now.
Yeah, the same question I just asked, and just really want to know you and your business, and why you got into what you do.
Okay.
And the first question is, what is the reason of starting your business? What's your why? We talked about earlier.
Why I started my business? Because I did not go want to work for nobody. Flat out. I did not want. I'm not work. I don't want to get up every morning on the same time doing this. No, that ain't me. I don't want to do that. That was part of my first reason. So I said, now what do I have to do to not do that?
There you go.
It ain't just, I'm like, why and what?
That's an action.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't just sit there and say.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I ain't got against nobody, because if it weren't for some of the great workers out there, we wouldn't be flying.
That's true.
We need good employees. We need good people. It's just you got to figure out who you are, and that's it. I was one-on-one, like, okay, I'm going to move around. So how can I work? I said, I want to work, but I don't work moving around. I still want to make a paycheck, but I want to move around and make a paycheck. I don't want to be flying. I don't want to fly no plane. I'm scared of skies all the time, so we ain't trying to do no flight attendant job, none of that, But yeah, my biggest thing is I started my business because I wanted to kind of work for myself. I wanted to kind of build something. I wanted to help people to get down the wire. I wanted to change the status. I want to invent and change and continue to grow. Show people the way. That's one of my whys, and some of my whys, they keep growing because I just figured out another why. I'm like, that's why I did this, and that could have been last year. So you always coming up with some whys.
But in the early stages of why on up to now, because I remember not wanting to work. I remember wanting to help people. I remember wanting to do things. I also started my business because in Northwest Plaza, people familiar with Northwest Plaza, St. Louis, I went out there and I paid somebody to fix my credit, and I gave them like $795.
Man, you remember, huh?
Yeah, I remember $795. I'm like, okay, this finna fit. Ain't do nothing. I'm like, oh hell, oh no, You getting my money back? I'm filing, so I learned how to file a complaint. Got mad. That's that pressure.
Yeah.
You know,
Pressure
that's that taking
twice.
something, so that pressure, and that's what another reason why. So I started, I'm like, I'm gonna fix my own credit, and I did it. And once I did, I'm like, well, I wonder if I can do this for everybody else. What if I come up with a price and make money and help people, and it all worked.
Man,
That's why.
What we talk. That's a great why.
Yes.
That's a great why, man.
Yes.
Now, this is another question, but you kind of answered it. Did you have experience in your field before you started your?
Man, not at all.
I don't know. You said you
when I first started.
You kinda, because it forced you into
Yeah, okay, and that's what I mean by not at all. Like it wasn't like I thought about it.
Okay.
Went to school. I ain't go to school for none of this. It's just, I'm like, oh, he took my money.
Yeah.
I'm finna figure this out, and that was part of it. So now after that, down the line, oh yeah, paralegal school. You know, I got several degrees. Don't nobody even know about it. I ain't talked about that. I'm gonna put that out there later.
Well, you don't need to.
Right. And continue to learn. You know, so I started learning. So once I got involved, then I'm gonna dig deep. We going to the core with this stuff here. What all this can do, and then I'm gonna come up with things that others not doing, because why not be a creator? Why not be an innovator? That's it. So yeah, I went past experience in the field. I went beyond the field, and still going.
And that's
We
what I'm
don't
saying.
stop.
And you have. Now you gain that real world experience.
Oh, absolutely.
That now, I mean, because a lot of the times when we gain that book knowledge, it doesn't tell you how to move and shake out here when stuff, because stuff comes at you that books and your.
I got the degrees later.
Yeah.
I started, which means I started out there in the knowing. I started off learning from the jump. Like, how you know about that, man? I got games, or I got experience, or this happened, or anything.
Yeah.
So I lost money.
Yeah, that's a great experience. That'll kick you into gear, man.
Right.
Okay, so the next one, man. What problem does your business solve? So exactly, what can I expect if I
getting people the money to start and do what they need to do?
Okay,
that's the key. Because since we on the topic of money, you don't necessarily have to chase money, but money is needed. They make everything cost. Like, everything costs nowadays. Everybody, it costs to do this, it costs to do that. So you gotta make money. You gotta have some money to even get out of the I can't focus arena, or I'm fearing of not paying my bills. So you gotta work, you gotta have money. Like, people got real problems.
Yeah.
Or especially if you taking care of business. If you just chilling up in Denver somewhere, you can be a bum and live a good life, then okay, so be it. I'm not one of them kind of persons. I want to react. I want to get out there and put forth some action. So that's one good reason why I say money is important. People need that. So we do that by fixing that person credit and showing them how to accommodate different things behind having good credit. It's all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's what
you can do with good, all kind of stuff. And I'm steady finding out things like you need good credit for that.
And would you say that one of the problems you solve too is people not knowing? So you have generations of people that are coming into not knowing the benefits of credit, right? Of having good credit, having cash flow, having money, and then when you help this new generation, they're like, whoa, I never knew this was out there. My parents didn't know. Nobody could teach me.
Right.
So now you're solving a generational. I don't want to say curse, but generational, generation, something that wasn't passed down to them.
Right.
Now they're open to, man, I can get my own new house. You know what I'm saying? I can get new cars, because some people just forever grow with used, which I'm not saying a bad thing, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, I can get new in my own name. I can actually, the benefits of credit.
Or you can get something that's extravagant and not know. A lot of people, they can get things like, I can get a foreign car.
Oh yeah.
You can finance them.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta pay like the fear of not knowing. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Go find out.
So that's a service. That your business solves that problem,
Man,
and that's
hey.
what I was thinking about, man.
Yes.
All right, so I guess we got the products. Now, what were some of your fears? I just, if you had it, I don't know, Bobo.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bobo ever had any fears, but
Man.
if you were like the rest of us,
Yeah, and I'm steady learning what fears are.
Yeah.
I don't know how to swim, but I
man.
still get in the water. No, that's crazy. I jump in the boat, I jump on the jet ski, but I be a little nervous. Like if I fall in this water, it's over with.
Yeah.
Even though I'm life vest everywhere. I got a vest on my neck.
With some good people
I got a vest on my arms. I have a vest around me, so I do not want to drown. So I do have a few fears, and I'm learning how to swim now. I'm practicing it when I get in the pool or something. I'm jumping there. Let me do some strokes. But some of my fear was not really. Some fears could be. I used to rap back in the day. I was an artist.
Okay.
Get on stage, right? I used to fear perhaps of being booed. Like somebody
okay.
be like, or like you don't sound right, like something.
Uh-huh.
So you try to build on that. You try to say, okay, if I fear this, then let me make sure this look good. Let me make sure I'm rapping good. Let me make sure I got some dancers on stage. Let me get some distractions. So that way people So yeah, I have fears, but I know how to deal with them.
Okay.
Put it that way. Like I would take a fear and make it a focus.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
saying. Those fears actually seem to make you a better focus. And how did those translate when you started your businesses? So, what kind of fear did you have from starting those all your endeavors? Did you ever think that, man?
Fear of not working for people. That's one.
Okay,
It
well,
might not work.
That's a focus.
Man, I've been took somebody money. What if it don't work? What they gonna do? What
Oh,
they gonna say?
yeah.
Because you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
You do something and it don't come through. People,
Uh-huh.
man, we from St. Louis,
And think about that too. Some people have families are depending on you doing whatever they gave you the money to do. So it's a lot more responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. I forgot about that. People alone. I heard. Go ahead. I'm gonna help out your business. Now you like, you know what? I got to get their money back.
You got to get it.
Yeah, they invested in me. So let me show them that I can prove worthy of who I am.
Yeah.
So, and those are all pressures. Those are all fears too.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all stress. Stress ain't bad. Pressure ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is not bad. If you take all of those negatives, you can make them a positive, and that's your yin. That's your balance. So it ain't even a problem, to be honest. The key is to be honest. I ain't gonna say I don't have fears. I don't look at them like they fears.
Okay.
There it is. Because I'm like, okay, damn. What if this mess up?
Now I told y'all before I asked that question, he's Bobo, and I didn't think he had any fears. Then we came full circle,
Right?
And to find out that he doesn't. So he doesn't have any fears.
Right.
I said that from the get go. But that's very interesting, man. That's the type of thinking and the type of knowledge that we need from the people that are listening to the show, right?
Right.
Because it's all about the business minds and helping people cultivate that mindset to get to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Some people may have not seen it like that, or not thinking about it like that. So I really appreciate you being honest and telling what you do with fear. You know what I'm saying? Because fear to a lot of people is just crippling, and a lot of times I don't think people recognize how crippling their fear actually is.
Oh, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I experienced that too. Like, I have them experience, and I have to shake it off. Like, for
Yeah,
real,
yeah,
a
yeah.
freaking straight stop you. Like, man, you know what? I don't want to do none of this. I don't care. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what, man? No. Because you fearing that the money that's coming ain't gonna come no more, or won't grow.
Oh my gosh.
You know, yeah.
That's a whole,
Yeah.
bro. That's a whole nother subject. Yes, yes. We need to get into that fear. We need to have a subject that's on
straight
fear.
on fear, and I got a lot about fear. I ain't playing because I know that's a big problem out there. I know it is. Fear is huge. Like, we fear a lot of things and don't even know it. And those blocks are right there. Stop like this wall, as real as this wall, right inside your head, and you can move it out the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you start to really, really dig down and get that focus and bust through it. Okay, you're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to talk about that fear. Yeah. Well, the next one was how do you overcome them? You answer that. Now, next one is question we have is what is your vision for your company? Or do you want to have like multiple locations? You want to take over the world, the credit world? what is the overall vision?
Good question, and that question is constantly being answered because things are changing. Things change so much, and thus we talk about being focused. One of my biggest things that I want is to really help people again. So, for my company, I want a nice company with a lot of good working people. I want to supply people with jobs and make sure they making money to feed their family, start their own individual businesses. Man. That's my business plan. That's my, vision for my company. It ain't really about, I want this house over there, these cars. I want all that too, no doubt. We want stuff, of course. But I learned that wasn't even about life when I was 21, 22. I figured that out back then. I'm like, that ain't what life about, man. So I already want those things.
Yes.
You got desires and intentions. If you desire this red Chevy Vet just to impress this woman or this woman, well, skip over that car and go straight for the woman if that's what you want. You don't have to chase the car to get the woman. Go directly at it,
Oh, I like that.
So you get desires and intentions. People got things twisted and convoluted. But my thing is, I want to help people. I want others to have, man, I bought this house. I like for real. That's it. Because I know it's possible. I see other people doing it. I want to give back to our generation, our community, our people. I want to help out all generations. X, Y, Z, it's all kind. I don't know. Because for real, because the older people, they need certain things, and younger people need income. People need to make that way they can live their life, enjoy their life. I want to be responsible for that.
Oh man,
that's what I want to do. That's the kind of company I'm aiming for.
That's the vision for your company. That's a beautiful vision, man.
I appreciate it. I didn't know if that was crazy.
No. No. Well, think about real. Steve Jobs. He said the people that think they're crazy enough to change the world are the ones that do. So don't ever think that.
Okay. I don't.
We got a couple of questions.
Okay.
From Kerry, he said, "Can you please talk about how business can still file for bankruptcy, but yet keep you personally afloat?"
It depends on how your business was structured. So if you structure your company correctly, then yes, absolutely. Look at all the companies that fell down. Enron, you hear nobody. Look at all the major companies. Back in not AT&T, it's some communication company. So you have a lot of companies that fail, but the issue is that they are structured correctly so they don't personally fall down. That's where building your company credit come in at. That's where not being a personal guarantor for a lot of the loans that they ask you to become a personal guarantor for. You got to figure out how to develop trade references. I talked about this before when we were talking about credit, how Walmart is an established business company. They got over 500 some trade references. So if they go to anybody and say, hey, I want to do business with you guys, they're going to look at they already laid out, credit profile and say, we extend you millions of dollars of credits. You can buy this Charmin toothpaste right here. You can get $1 million in them on credit and don't pay us till the clients pay you. That's why they're able to kind of sell at low prices and beat competition and growing with superstores and stuff. They mastered the concept of business credit.
So they prove that they can pay you back.
Right.
Pay for whatever.
So that's part of the structure. You want to set yourself up correctly to where you're not really making yourself personally responsible for these things. Yeah, just your structure.
Exactly how are they structured? Is it a
LLC, C Corp, INC? If you got any partners, you got partnerships, limited partnerships. So those at least get incorporated, and then from there start structuring your company where your company is doing business, not you. Because you and your company, we already a business. If you really look at America, how they look at you and your social security number, we are companies to them. That's how they view you. They ain't no lie. So we are under the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. So they deal with us as businesses. You file your taxes, your income, all of that. It's kind of like a business. So when you set up another company, you get EIN, that's another entity. That's another form that you can do business and establish business with. Now you got to grow this, like having a kid. Over here you got a kid, but she or he grow up faster than 18 years. And your kid ain't gonna let you use their credit that long anyway. You probably use it without their knowledge when they was young, but you ain't finna, mama, give me my credit card, my social security card back. You ain't finna be using it.
Oh, man.
Right, so now they doing their own thing, but your company, you have all the control.
Oh, man.
So set up some entities and do them right.
Oh, that's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Kerry got another question.
Mhm.
How to apply for a business loan of how to apply for a business line of credit? What is it you need when you approach the bank?
You got to find out exactly who the bank deal with. We help with all of this. We have trade references that report. We do a lot of that. And I kind of get into that later. If you need some information, is there. Just kind of hit up us or myself. But you want to, number one, find out what bank pulls from what bureau. You know, like who they reporting to. You know, so if you go to a bank, you're looking for a line of credit, you need to know all the details. Like, okay, who do you pull your credit with? We pull from SBFE. Okay, what are you looking for? You know, well, I'm looking for like 3 trade references. Or sometimes the bank knows this information, sometimes they don't. You know, so you can research that. That way, when they pull from this particular profile or credit bureau, Experian Business, TransUnion Business, SBFE, it's over 15 of them. It's like a lot of companies that report data, because it's all about your data on you, your company, whatever. So you want to make sure you got data on there. You need to be doing business with somebody, or know that this bank is willing to give you a line of credit or a loan, not having any trade references. So you need to know that, because this particular bank might want you to have 3 banks before you come to them, 3 lines, 3 loans. But this bank right here might say, oh, we'll give you a loan off the gate as long as you've been in business for 2 years. Or, you know, you give us a personal guarantor, a signature. You know, so it's all kind of ways. You know, you want to really find out details. The key is digging.
Oh man, and DNB Consulting will help them with.
Yes, and DNB. So Dun & Bradstreet is another agency, but they deal with what's called vendors. When you're dealing with the big boys lenders, you want to get into like banks. Don't know that Dun & Bradstreet don't report your line of credit. They don't. They report stuff that might be like MB, your certifications and different things like that. They report the vendor. So, but when you trying to get along with some of the A banks and Chase and Bank of America, Wells Fargo, no, they ain't pulling from Dun & Bradstreet.
Oh man, that's very interesting, because for the last
people be bidding on Dun & Bradstreet thinking they doing something. Oh man, I'm like laughing.
I tell you, for the last 2 years, they call me every.
I mean, that ain't funny. I'm sorry.
They call me like every 3 or 4 months. DNB.
They're trying to sell you products.
Yeah, they are trying to sell me
stuff. Business.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, but they're business.
Then Kerry got more questions. How long of business established is optimal before applying for credit if you don't have a signature?
That's back to, you need to have trade references. If you don't, you're going to need a personal guarantor in most cases in the very beginning, because won't no one extend you their credit without no character, collateral, or capability. We don't know about your company. We don't know if you're capable of paying this loan back, so they real skeptical. You know, or they don't know you. You know, so you got to show. That's like me and you. Like, I come to you and say, man, let me borrow some money. Let's take it on time. Wait,
I don't know you.
Hey, what? And then you're going to start looking and researching. Well, okay, you got this show, you did this, he doing this show, you got little assets. These assets, okay, and you, well, I heard, man. And then you start off with a certain amount that you're comfortable with.
Yeah, there
and
you
go
go.
from there. That's
Okay.
it. So you got to build that rapport. It's like a relationship. You got to have it. So, and ideally, if to not have a personal guarantee, you need trade references, and also that company got to be established for at least 2 years. You know, some type of, that way you know you didn't did, because some companies, you know, they startups might die 3 years later, 2 years later. So banks already know this based off of data. 100 companies started, out of 100 in 2 years, 80% of them was already out of business. So they're like, okay.
You know, yeah, and I heard an interesting fact too, that about 98% of businesses around there fail within the first year.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I see exactly what you mean.
So banks know this.
And you know what's interesting too, the way you're opening up my eyes to certain things, because PayPal now will extend your credit. Now they don't check any credit lines or anything. What they do is your PayPal activity.
Yes.
And so they'll give you a line of credit depending on how much you brought
activity.
in.
There's so many ways to do that. You got bank statements, you got deposits, you got, you know, you got businesses, you got, you know, account receivables. I got buddies that own restaurants, and it's based off their volume, even though they don't really have. Yeah, they doing 20,000, 30,000 a month. That's good volume. PayPal, Square, everybody. Vine, there's so many places.
And then it's instant too.
Yeah, you have
so
like 2-3 days.
Oh,
you
well,
your
with
bank
PayPal,
account. It'd be the same day or something?
It'd be like 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours.
They just check your, they just check it.
And how they play.
No.
I didn't know that.
So that's interesting that you do it, because now they're becoming like a bank. And then you can even determine your
because they
payback
already a
model.
merchant service.
They are.
So they're looking at, and then they know exactly what you're doing. They're like, oh, he's making the money. Give it to him.
Yeah. That's what, exactly. And then on top of that, so they already see how much traffic that you're using on their platform, which they really control anyway.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of people got mad at PayPal a couple of years ago because they would hold your funds if they thought stuff was sketchy. And and people are like, hold up, how can you hold my money?
Because and I experienced that with all of them.
You know what I'm saying? How can you hold my money? But then they were like, well, we actually have the right to. You're going through our system. And I thought that was kind of, because I was like, wow, y'all are like a bank now. But even more than a bank, because the bank can't even hold my money.
Yeah, the bank can't hold your money. And they're not doing transactions and making money on the transactions. The bank, well, they do what they cards. They do what they cards and stuff they have, but
that's interesting you said that. So it's sort of the same way, except the banks have to do a lot more research, right?
Right.
PayPal, you already doing work in their system anyway.
It's like no doc or low doc. That's called that really means low documentation or no documentation. This was stuff that I done back in the early 2000s as a mortgage consultant, and a lot of these programs are already existing. They bring it back, or it's just technology is really what's going on. They look at your followers. They look at all of that. All of that stuff matters, man. And we do a lot of different businesses and loans based off of different businesses and loans. So we got all kind of stuff that's going on now.
Man,
like it's the perfect time to be in business and understand how to have that particular business and that look. You want to have a nice, clean looking profile. You want that,
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting stuff. And we're actually finishing up your company's website this week.
Yeah, congratulations. We're doing Bono's Credit. So that's BonosCredit.com. So I probably like, this dude got all kind of businesses.
Yeah.
True. I do.
And we're going to be more focused on you and what you particular bring, as well as your team. And I'm super excited to be working with you and all your knowledge, man. So, I mean, like I said, you've answered all our questions, and I personally know my boy Kerry.
Yes.
He be coming with some
questions.
Half of those questions was trying to test your knowledge.
Oh yeah.
But then he said he answered my question. Indeed, he's cool. But Kerry's actually going to be. He's investment. He handles investments, so he's going to be on the show too.
Okay,
so,
nice to look forward to meeting you, man. Let's connect. We connected.
Oh yeah.
So somewhere on this platform, Facebook,
somewhere,
friend request. Let me know. Shoot me a message. I like that.
How can people get in contact with you right now?
Facebook mainly, Lamont Bobo. I got stuff under there. Bono's Credit, Bonos_credit on Instagram. We doing the BonosCredit.com site. Our office number and all of that is on all of the platforms that's out there. But yeah, it's all kind of ways you can get in touch, And you might see my name behind several companies. That's because we have great partnerships. Like I'm not necessarily all me. Like it's not all me. That's another beautiful thing about business, because you get involved with someone else. Like I got my buddies over here that's doing construction, and I love real estate. So we do, we fix everything go in line. You fix the credit to get this done, to help this person get this. Like picking up vehicles, like why go finance a vehicle, pay a high interest rate when I got banks, finance, we dealers. I know where I can find you a car and get you a good deal. Tell you the profit that we making. Because you'll be provided the paperwork. That way you ain't going to a dealer getting ripped off, driving off the lot. Your car lose value. You drive off our lot, you instantly, $50,000 car they cost them $35. They made 15 grand, 10 grand. They on a jet ski like, I just closed this deal. No, man, we'll make some money, but your car still got some value there. I don't want you losing out all the way.
Oh man. Okay, so this has been a great show. We actually went over the time, but I'm gonna have you back a lot, man.
Yes.
And I actually want to talk to you about something special when we get off the air too. That it's gonna be really, this is gonna be really good for I think for our partnership as well.
Nice.
Man, I enjoy everybody. Oh, Johnny Mac. Oh man, my boy Johnny Mac. He's always plugging. So
nice.
So yeah, man, this is us. This is the Business Minds, where we talk about business and entrepreneurship. Man, we have great guests like Mr. Bobo come on talk about their expertise. I hope you guys have learned a lot. We're actually over our time, but we will be back. the show usually airs Monday from 6 to 7. But
Right.
man, I had to make Bobo called me and said, "Hey Chris, I'm coming in town."
Yeah, I'm coming in town.
I had to,
Yeah, so we made
he
it happen.
switched up the whole
Yeah,
thing
we
for
made
me,
it
and it's
happen.
worth it.
Right, I
Because
appreciate
partnerships
it.
like this and like Johnny Mac and Carrie, I mean, you
Right.
guys are what makes this show possible, and what makes people like me just keep going too, man. So I appreciate y'all as well, and I hope that everybody had a great time on the show, man. You got any closing words?
Oh, well, I want to thank everybody. I appreciate y'all time for tuning in. You know, I know people are busy, got things going on. It's a good thing this stuff can be recorded. You can
Yeah.
watch it later. You know, all of that. We're going to utilize technology, but I appreciate y'all taking the time to kind of understand and educate yourself, because it's
Yes.
about you, and it's us building this network. You know, we can keep that citivism, that circle going. We all can just piggyback off each other. We all can be in business. We all can live whatever life that it is that you want to live. And I appreciate y'all and enjoy out there.
Man, I love that. There's enough money out here for all of us. Let's stop fighting over little scraps. I'm Christopher Shaw. This has been the Business Minds, man. I thank y'all. I will see y'all next week. And Mr. Bobo he might be my co-host.
Yeah,
we might do this together.
Yeah.
Because this man, I love him.
We got a lot of stuff we can talk about.
Yeah.
It's bigger than credit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bigger than credit. It's
Yep.
all about everything.
Yes.
So, all right, guys. I thank y'all, and until next week, next Monday from 6 to 7, the Business Mind Show. Later. Hey, man, that was good, Bubba.
20 views. Okay, right. Let's see.
That was real good, man.
All right, well, thank you, man. Man, you heard me say that was real good. This nice, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I just come and do it. Right, let me say this, because Chris, I love this, dude. I promise you, man. I love,
This new camera, if it would connect, but see, even though it was still live. But no, even though it disconnected on here, it still was streaming live
that's like, I figured it.
on the air. And I don't know why.
I'll plug this up, give me up the juice for a little minute.
Okay, cool.
Unless you got USB.
Yeah, I got one in my office.
Okay. Yeah, man, that was awesome, man. I appreciate that, man. I like this setup too.